All right, we're going to go ahead and get going. So we're going to kind of roll into just our first flow. First couple are going to just be some kind of dynamic mobility bits, and then we'll kind of get into some more fun stuff. So what we're going to do to start out with is go this way. We're going to get on all fours. We're going to stick that left leg out to the side. So we're kind of in an extended, or all fours with a kickstand. We're going to sit those hips back towards that heel. And as we pull through, we're going to pull this back leg into kind of a pigeon. All right, and we're going to reach across left hand. So from left foot to left hand, we're making a long extension. And we're going to pull that back through, bring that back in, and we're just going to kind of flow through those two positions. Sit back, hold that for just a second. Bring that front knee through, and reach. You can hang out in that extended position right there as long as you need to. Not quite going for a whole bunch of reps here, but as you go through a couple, you should feel that start to loosen up. I'm going to go 2 more times on this side. Transitions don't have to be pretty. Just looking to get into those 2 positions. Should feel a bit of the groin, the inside, those adductors on that left leg there. As we pull through, hold in that glute, and again, hold through that left side on that reach. When we get back into all fours, we're going to go ahead and stick that other leg out. We're going to be doing the same thing. I'll hold this first one for just a second. Ooh, the wrong way. I'm not so used to that. Going one way. And those first couple might have to hold a little bit extra length, or for a little bit more time, because it might be just a little bit stiffer. Can't quite get as far down there either. But we'll do a few of them and see how that body loosens up. That body is very resilient. And we go 2 more here. And if you do take this to kind of do your own practice with, again, you can certainly set a rep range if you would like, but I'll usually just kind of work on feel. So once I really start feeling really loose through those target muscle groups, that'll usually kind of be the signal to move to the next thing. Already dropped about 4 or 5 inches of my chest from that first one, so I'm going to say that one feels pretty good. Wrap up that last one you're on if you have it. Next one, we're going to focus a little bit more on those hamstrings. So we're going to get in our kneeling position with our front leg extended. So same kind of deal, other than extending our leg to the side, we're going to extend to the front. And we're going to, again, sit those hips backwards towards that heel. Should feel a good stretch through your hamstring. Then all we're going to do is push that knee forward. Really important, try to keep this front heel on the ground. This is a great ankle stretch here. If you can get some of that body weight, some of that upper body, pushing that knee forward, and a little bit more stretch in that Achilles through that gastroc a little bit. And then we're just going to alternate, shifting between those 2 positions. So sitting back into that hamstring stretch. Again, holding for a little bit longer the first couple. And then pushing forward, putting that weight onto that front knee. And back. Some good mobility drills here. A lot of the stuff that we do in this class is a great kind of warm-up if you're going into a strength and or conditioning workout. This is some really good stuff to do before you go in, because you're getting your body warm, those muscles warm and mobile all at the same time. Or of course, we'll go ahead and switch sides. Of course, you could do this at the end of your workout too. And if you're used to joining equipped right before this, it's a good way to kind of wind down and close that workout. So really take note of the differences between those left and right sides. Definitely feel my Achilles quite a bit tighter on this side. It just means I needed to pay more attention to it and give it a little extra love on these subsequent rounds. Just make sure I'm holding that position just a little bit longer each time. I'm going to finish this one and do one more on this side. And we're going to move to the next movement. Never know what's in store, what's coming up next. All right, what is coming up next? We're going to go up onto our feet. So this is going to be a Inchworm To Lunge Box. All right, so what this is going to look like is we're going to stand back here. We're going to push those hips back and fold down. We're going to walk ourselves out into an inchworm. All right, out into a plank position. We're going to walk those toes, those feet up towards those hands. Roll it up. We're going to whatever space, whatever side you have space on. We're going to take a good long lateral lunge. Pull ourselves over. We're going to fold ourselves down and reverse that inchworm, walking those feet back out into that plank, and those hands will follow. Roll it on up, and we're going to lunge to the other way. Alright, so we're going to go 3 rounds of this. I'm not going to spend too much time on here. Should be feeling pretty good. Those hamstrings, we spent some time warming up. This is just a kind of a good test to see where our hamstrings are, as well as those adductors in that lateral lunge, right? A little shoulder stability here from those planks. I always like to remind everybody, when we do go into those plank positions, make sure you do establish yourself into a plank, right? And not just moving through that position. I'll show you here in just a second. When we walk out from that inchworm, I want you to give me a good strong hold here for just a second before those feet start coming in. You can never practice those basics too many times. Establish that good strong plank and walk those hands back. And one more time to finish that box. Alrighty. So feeling pretty loose. I'm ready to do some more fun movements now, right? So first one, we're going to go into our primal position, our good old favorite primal position. So hands and knees, fingers spread out nice and wide. We're going to tuck those toes under, lift those knees up off the ground. This is our primal position. So movement number 1 of this is we're going to sit back just like we kind of did before. All right, so our knees are still up off the ground, so we'll call our loaded beast. From this position, we're going to hop up those feet to the outside of our hands. And we're just going to move our hands to those toes. All right, so we're in a nice, good, deep squat. And then we're in that position for our bootstrap squat, or deep hamstring squat. All right, and we're going to go ahead and sit back down. Replace those hands inside our feet in reverse. All right, so we're going to take about 45 seconds to a minute just to roll through these, which is a little way to put some dynamic movement, which are just kind of the same words, into our hamstrings. Some dynamic stretching into our hamstrings. That's kind of what I was looking for. So also a good way to fire up those quads. I want you to really kind of focus on keeping that back flat here if you can. So especially in that deep squat, right? Try to really open that chest up. We have 2 more here. You can put some speed on here, certainly, if you would like. Last one coming in. And relax. Oh, feel that one in my quads a little bit. All right, we'll take a second. Kind of shake that out. Talk about what's going on next. We're going to go back to basics. If you remember the very beginning of this class, we learned some cool moves. So we're going to revisit our kick through. So we're going to again be in that primal position or beast position. Okay. We're going to we'll start with my right foot. We're going to slide that right knee underneath and kick that leg right out to the side. All right. Go ahead and bring that back in. Try the other side. Kick her right out to the side. All right. So that is our kick through. Right leg going to the left is the left kick through. The left going to the right is the right kick through. Is the side that we're kicking through. All right. So once we feel pretty good about that, we're going to put that foot down and we're just going to bridge those hips up nice and tall. Dropping that back down. Come back to that primal position. Kicking through the other side and bridging up. Back down and back down. So that is the set there. So we're just going to be bouncing back and forth here for again about 45 seconds. I want you to really focus on getting those hips extended. So that's a bent leg. That's the foot that is really doing the majority of the drive. So staying strong. Pushing up, try and get those hips as high as you can. And notice your down hand, that support hand. That's a very strong hand. Nice and stacked underneath. The hand that's extended in the air. Go ahead and finish up that last one. Come back to primal and relax. All right. Feels good. Go back to those basics. Nothing overly complicated. Just some good work. All right. Speaking of going back to basics, we're going to do something completely brand new. I've never seen it before. But crawling is a great functional movement pattern. We don't have a whole lot of space here, so we are going to work to do some stationary crawling. What's that going to look like? So we're going to get in hands and knees. Okay? What we're going to do is our opposite hand, opposite foot are going to be moving here. So I'm moving my right hand and my left foot. So as my left foot comes up, my right hand is going to go up. Okay? And so we're kind of in a lizard stretch, but a little bit offset in those hands. I'm going to lower my chest into the ground. That's kind of like an offset, twisted push-up, push away. Replace those hands and feet back to neutral. and go for the other side. Right foot comes forward, left hand goes forward, lower myself down to the ground, and push it up. Okay? So what that's going to look like is here. So as if we were doing a nice little alligator crawl, right? But we just have a little bit more confined space. Okay? So we're always going to come back to hands and knees. If you would like to try to do this in your primal position, you certainly can. You can get a little bit more extended, right? But I'm going to give you the option to take back to neutral, kind of reestablish that core position, because that will fall apart. Okay? So I want you to go at your own pace here. Sink that down as low as you're able. Really trying to get that foot as high up towards those hands as you can manage. Get some nice, good mobility through those hips. Also get a little bit of chest workout in these kind of modified push-ups. I'm going to go 2 more each way. The last one here. And relax. That was fun, huh? Something a little bit different. All right, we're getting close to the end here. Got about 3.5 minutes. We're gonna try to get through 2 more movements. So this next one, we're not gonna spend a whole lot of time on. Pretty simple. It's gonna be a single leg bridge, but a little bit of a more dynamic version. So we're gonna get hands and feet here, bridging up. Okay, so it's kind of like our global bridge. We're just gonna take 1 foot off, all right, and then we're going to swing through on that single leg. All right, so you should feel that heel really digging into the ground when he gets to this extended position. If you want a little bit more challenge, we can move that foot farther out. All right, so it's a little bit bigger of a pull. And if you can't, lift those hips even higher. Put, again, more effort on that. Try to keep those hips nice, steady, level as you go through. Let's go ahead and switch sides. You feel that one? Definitely. Keeping those hips high. All right, just making sure that we don't sink those hips down when we get to those arms. Keep those hips up. That's going to be the key, because you're digging that heel down and you're pulling those hips forward with that heel. So a way to do a single leg hamstring curl with just the body weight. I'm going to go 3 more. And last one. All right. Just quick little hamstring curl there. All right, last one. It's going to be our fun one. We're just doing a little bit of a final flow here. Going to the basics. We're going to do some switches, some kick throughs, and some windmills. So what it's going to look like in our beast, in our primal position. We're going to do that same kick through, but instead of extending that leg, we're just going to keep it back and tucked underneath. All right, going to the other side. And then we're going to add that kick through. All right, so kind of progressing that movement. All right, so we got 2 under switches, 2 kick throughs. We're going to load that beast, hopping up. We've seen this one before. So we're going to come to a stand. And we're just going to hit a nice, good windmill each side. Should feel really good, very loose. Then we're just going to hop it back down to the start, and we're back to it. All right, feel free to flow through this at your own pace. Switch each side, kick through each side, hopping up into a windmill each side. All right, we're going to take about 30 more seconds and get what you can through there. Have some fun with it as we finish up our last strength flow, our 2020 at least for me, we will have one more class tomorrow. So we're going to get one more flow through it here, and then that should be time. Nice and strong. Feeling how mobile that body is after 20 minutes of that mobility work. And we'll bring it back down and relax. All right. Appreciate you coming along for some strength flow. Like I said, this is my last strength flow of 2020. We will be on tomorrow night for our very final one. Otherwise, hope you enjoy the rest of your evening. We'll be back tomorrow morning with some morning mobility. Have a great evening. Get some water. Get some great dinner. And we'll see you next time.